What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another DevPro duel video in Ranked, and Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon's TCG release is on the near horizon, with it coming out in the movie pack later this week, near this weekend in fact. I figured it was about time for me to start actually playing it on a serious note and actually testing it as a potential viable TCG option now that it will officially basically be at full power with the Felgrand deck and Alternative Dragon having been released both the weekend before the North American WCQs and the movie pack coming out in about 4 days from the time of me filming this video. Now this build specifically was a subscriber suggestion, a fan suggestion if you will, by, I'm going to absolutely butcher this name because I have no idea how it's meant to be pronounced, but it looks like Dare McKeown. I have no idea if I butchered your name, I'm sorry, but I just don't know how that's meant to be pronounced. But this was a deck list that was sent in by him to my Facebook fan page for me to try out, and it is, as you can see, a Hieratic Blue Eyes list. Now, personally, I'm not sure if Hieratic Blue Eyes is the way to go in the future with this deck, because the deck is really characterized by being able to make very, very powerful and simple plays, much like Necros, Monarchs, and stuff like that. You're not really using a lot of cards, you're not really doing anything really fancy or elaborate, but you are making very impactful plays, and I think that's something that the deck actually pulls its greatest strength from. But the Hieratic build actually kind of goes against that grain. The Hieratic engine itself is very, very notorious for needing multiple combo pieces to do anything really cool and interesting. And while you do have a really neat interaction in the form of like a set, copying the level of your Blue Eyes on the board, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the way this deck needs to go. And Red Eyes is really cool. Having accessibility is really cool, but you also have accessibility to other Reborn cards as well that are readily available. So I'm not quite sure. Another thing, this deck list, it looks very solid on paper, but there are some changes that I would definitely make to it, so I might be doing a deck doctor on this specific build later. Haven't decided yet. There's some things that the deck seems to be lacking in terms of whether or not you would take it to a competitive environment or not. There's just some certain things that the deck seems to be lacking in the form of very minor things like Soul Charge, a refined extra deck. There's some choices in the main deck that I wish were here, like at least one White Spirit Dragon, because being able to bring back White Spirit Dragon from grave off of like doing something like say Sue popping is very good, because that's, you know, a vanilla engrave and it comes back and then banishes another spell trap card, so it allows you to do massive tempo and momentum swings. I just don't feel like the deck is maximized to its fullest potential on paper, and that might be something that I come back to and address in the future and do some changes with. But Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon is going to be set for release soon, so I figured it was time to start playing some Blue Eyes decks. And if you have your own deck that is close to being TCG legal or is TCG legal that you want me to play for these videos, then definitely go ahead and send it to my Facebook fan page in either a pic or typed out form, and I would be glad to look at it. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, playing my fan suggested decks in the future, because I've been saying I wanted to do them, and I'm going to start doing them now. But other than that, let's just jump into the game, because I think this is probably going to be an interesting one. Maybe? Who knows? Alright, so as usual, we're going to see how this goes. Now, unfortunately, I'm basically forced into the plebeian tier of DevPro because I have to play in Unranked, which means I have to play in TCG OCG because I have to play in Unranked, because of the fact that that Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon is not currently legal for TCG play, even though it does come out in like 4 days or so, and like there's that for an option. But ultimately, it's not something I have capability of using right now. So I do get to start with an Atum, which is neat. I get to start with Atum, and I get to start with the Zolkin. I can start with the Zolkin if I wanted to. I could definitely start with Zolkin and just pop out Clearwing, or just put out Spark. Unfortunately, I don't think my hand is strong enough to do anything else other than do that and then summon a Blue Eyes in the end phase. But I can't make Spirit Dragon because of the fact that, like, that's just not something that's possible off of my current card pool that I have access to. If I had one more Hieratic, I could definitely do so, because I'd be able to, you know, summon one from deck and potentially do things there. But as it stands, I'm going to get Labradorite out, and I'm going to leave the Blue Eyes as secured in the deck. I'm going to leave the one secured in my hand as well. I actually might, well, let's see, I'm going to probably end up using this to send Galaxy Serpent, and then a Whitestone. Or no, probably, do I want to send Galaxy Serpent, or I don't want to keep the amount of tuners in my deck high? Because at this point I can draw any of those vanillas, Galaxy Serpent, and like, it would be fine. So, possibly. We'll just find out. We will find out. So I could go with Atum here. I could do that, but I don't have another Hieratic, so I could definitely have ended with Hieratic King Dragon, a Tum, and a Zulkin if I had one more Hieratic in my hand, but I actually just don't, which is what we would refer to as unfortunate. And I'm going to set this because I'm going to be using it right away. I'm going to summon Crystal Wing just because it seems like it's the strongest like option, and then I'm going to use Dragon Shrine, and I'm going to send yeah, I'm probably just going to end up sending the Ancient Whitestone, because at least that would allow me to recur back a card potentially, but there's nothing in the graveyard to recur. This is so, like, this is so sketch. This hand is just so incredibly sketch, and like there's no White Spirit Dragon that I could put into circulation. White Spirit Dragon's really cool because once you put it in the grave, you're able to just like start summoning it off Hieratics, thus making Sue like be able to pop 2 cards, because whatever you tribute off of it will allow you to do like things to get other things out. So I guess I'm just gonna summon this dumbass Blue Eyes. I wish I had one more Hieratic. I feel like this deck probably would benefit from playing Legendary Maju Garzette as well, because that's essentially just a better like Tefnut. Oh, is he playing the new Ancient Gear support? That's gonna suck for me. I have no idea what any of these cards do. I just remember I read one that said destroy Gear Town and summon an Ancient Gear monster from the deck, and I was like, alright, that's amazing, because you get to summon like 2 Gadgetron Dragons, or you get to summon a Gadgetron Dragon and something else. Like, you get to summon 2 cards. Like, I read that and I thought it was immediately amazing, but I don't know what any of the rest of the cards do. So that's gonna be, what? Gear Town end phase. Well, alright, well this actually is a very favorable interaction, because if I draw Alternative Dragon, I'm going to be able to add Blue Eyes back off the stone. But first things first, no, I'm just going to start my turn with this. I have the cards constantly set. I was going to set the trade in and then activate it. Gospel Revival, that's really good. Are there any like hand traps that this deck has, like that allow you to like pop Gear Town and special it from hand? Like, is that what I'm getting? Is someone giving me the dirty in that way? Is that what's happening? Or is it just like that he couldn't out Crystal Wing, so he just didn't want to play? Because like if that's the case, I'm all for that one. But as it stands, Gospel Revival can't revive Hieratics, and that sucks. Damn it, why couldn't this have been like... I really wish this card was level 7 or higher, because then you could revive like Red Med with it, and it'd be really cool. It'd be like an instant 3 of in like Dragonides, because you could just bring back Red Med, but as it stands, it can literally only bring back Leviton, and that's kind of annoying. So I can actually banish card, target 1 card on the field, and banish it. Okay, so I can just immediately Michael. So there's that. Do I have just the Blue Eyes Engrave? I do, so I can go ahead and I can set up a Dark Matter play. I can just do Hope Harbinger. That's actually probably just the better option. Hope Harbinger, and then I get to set cards of consonants, summon Michael, pay 1,000, banish this. I don't know why I didn't keep him on the board and attack with him first. That's me being a dumbass, because I literally just gave my opponent another turn, potentially. So that's gonna suck. This mills cards though, and this protects my stuff, so that's neat. Oh, he set a card and passed. I didn't even know this was here. Okay. We're gonna banish that. It's called Haunted. Okay. I'm not afraid of this Gear Town in any capacity. I didn't even know that was there. That Gear Town does such a good job of hiding these sleeves, because these sleeves are really gray. Okay, so Swift Scarecrow, yes, we'll negate that. 100%. Just so I can keep doing stuff. This is game if it goes through. So I would like to continue potentially allowing it to go through. I'm going to attack with this first, because if he has something like Gores or Trag, I'm able to attack it with Crystal Wing and then gain the boost and attack over it. But he won't have Gores because this is a Gear Town. Alright, this is so clear cut. I don't like this. But it's going to make the video short. And do I want to do it? Do I want to go back in? Do I want to go back in, or do I just want to cut it here and just say that I played against the new Ancient Gear support, even though like the guy didn't play? You know what? I'm just going back in. To hell with it. This one's not over. Okay, so hopefully this one goes a little bit differently than the last one in terms of my opponent actually gets to play Yugi's. But as it stands, this hand is kind of not the best, and I'm going first. Ew! 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 Alright, well what I get to do here is I get to send a Blue Eyes. I can... Ooh! This hand's actually really cool. It's actually... I was judging this hand very wrongly. I get to send a Blue Eyes, and then send a White Stone, which adds another Blue Eyes. Alright? I get to use Gospel Revival, bring back the Blue Eyes. I'm going to get all the Blue Eyes out of my deck, which is probably not good. Well, actually, Melody of Awakening Dragon can just add 2 Alternative Dragons. So as long as I keep a Blue Eyes in my hand, that's fine. So, yes, we will go with this. So Blue Eyes and send Whitestone so that I can add another one. Just so that I keep the same number of cards. Gospel Revival back to Blue Eyes that I just sent. And then I'm able to normal summon Ancient Whitestone. And I'm able to make Spirit Dragon, which then allows me to go into Azure Eyes. I'm going to give him the free 1-card draw off of this, which is kind of bad. Well, actually, I could have. If I wasn't under Max C, I could have normal summoned this without Tribute and made a Dark Matter here, and that would have been really cool as well, because I could have sent this and like a few other cards to grave. The problem is there's not really any key dragons that you want to send to grave with this specific deck or build. So we'll just do this. And this is unfortunate because now I don't want to use this. And I'm probably not going to. In all honesty, I'm probably just not. Because I'm under Max C. I'm not going to give him another card. So yeah, no. We're not going to do that. But we are going to be able to use the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon to go into Azure Eyes, barring something like a Kaiju, Raigeki, or Dark Hole. That's going to be possible. Even if that does happen, this deck plays Hieratics, so there is potential of that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this deck particularly. Okay, Dragon Shrine. What are you sending, man? What are you sending, bro, man? I get to negate anything that you send with a graveyard effect, so if you send, like, Whitestone of Legends, I get to negate it, so that would be just free. Am I playing a mirror? Am I legitimately playing a mirror? That would be pretty cool. That's another thing this deck lacks that I think it needs, is Max C, hand traps, something like that. Oh, he's just playing Felgrand stuff. Alright. Well, if he Gospel Revivals that, I can blink Spirit Dragon out into Azure Eyes. So there's definitely that, because this card does target, if I remember correctly. It says target, yes. And then it's Melody of Awakening Dragon. Yeah, I'm just legit playing a mirror. I'm playing a Felgrand. I'm playing Hieratic Blue Eyes against Felgrand Blue Eyes, and honestly, I feel like the Felgrand build is a bit stronger than the Hieratic build in general, simply because of the fact that the Hieratic build takes up a lot of room for nothingness. Like, Ultimaya is cool and all, Atom's neat, but like ultimately you could just do other things. You can do other better things, potentially, is what I'm trying to get at. Because, well, he's going to target this, and I get to tag this out, yeah, like, immediately. But the issue here is that, like, he can just run over this in battle, right? Yeah, like, he can just run this over in battle with something. Like, if he makes Dark Matter, that's going to suck. So I kind of feel like I have to go to Moonlight. But he sent Felgrand, which leads me to believe he might have Gospel Revival, but he actually just might not have it. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to see if this goes unopposed, because it basically has to. I have to start getting my cards back. I have to start getting back Blue Eyes, because my Blue Eyes in grave coming back are going to be continuous bodies. So the longer I can keep this Azure Eyes on board, the better that's going to be for me. So I feel like that's something I have to do. I could get Moonlight Rose and bounce this, and he can't summon it again. That's neat. That's great. But then the Moonlight Rose dies at the end phase, and I'm in the exact same position that I would be in if, like, this gets killed by something like Dark Matter. If he's able to, you know, summon another level 8 and make Dark Matter, that's going to be the exact same result, except he's going to have it. Okay. Well, at least he can't... Well, he can actually... He doesn't even have to make Dark Matter. This can actually banish a card from my graveyard and boost itself. That is actually something I did not consider. I did not consider the fact that that was going to be able to banish something from my grave, like a Blue Eyes, and just be huge. So now he gets to attack over my Azure Eyes, and now I'm just in a terrible position. And now he gets his own Synchro, so now I'm in even a worse position. This also lets him bring back a card from his grave, so he gets to bring back the White Spirit Dragon when he kills this. So now I just think I lost this one. His deck has so many more better quality cards than me because he's playing the Felgrand build and I'm playing the Hieratic build. The Hieratic build, the problem I see with it is the fact that this doesn't seem like the way you want to be playing the deck. Because it just seems like it's like the only reason I'm gonna like potentially not lose here is because of Gospel Revival. But like the Hieratic deck in general is just, it plays a lot of cards that are completely unnecessary. And while it does have the strength of like it turbos you into Red Med with like a Tum and stuff, usually Ultimaya is just strictly better, and you've got enough revival in your deck anyway if you play like the regular Blue Eyes build, because you're just spamming Azure Eyes and Spirit Dragons. Like, you're just spamming these cards anyway, so like revival has never really been too big of an issue, if you get what I'm saying. But so I can't bring back any vanillas from grave, so that's going to be problematic. If I draw a Hieratic, that'd be pretty good. So if I draw a Hieratic, what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to special. If I draw, I have to basically draw Sue. That's Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. That's actually really good. That's actually just as good, in fact. This gets to put my Spirit Dragon back, which is actually key. Which actually is probably going to be the like thing that happens. But what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to use Alternative White Dragon and pop Hope Harbinger, and then I'm going to be able to normal summon a set and make an 8 in the form of maybe Dark Matter, or maybe my own Hope Harbinger, because Hope Harbinger will actually allow me to do some cool things there as well. I don't have any ways to make Hieratics happen, so that's going to be a slight problem. Actually, I kind of need to pop this, but I need to pop this too. That's such a problem. I think I actually have to pop Hope Harbinger and then make Dark Matter, because then Dark Matter can attack both of these. So that actually seems to be the better option. And then Dark Matter will also just allow me to summon more cards out of my deck. In the form of sending more of the stones and doing things like that. Do I have access to... I have a third Blue Eyes in the deck. Alright. So, and then I'll normal summon this, normal summon without tributing, and then I'll use this to copy the Blue Eyes. You can target one normal... Wait, what? Is it all on the field? Okay, so good. I get to target his Blue Eyes. Yeah! Alright, I was like, wait a second, I messed up. But nope, turns out, did not mess up at all. So, what we'll do is we'll, oh, fuck me! I did mess up. Damn it! I was supposed to pop his card first. I got so excited and got so distracted. Well, that's gonna be an issue. It wouldn't be an issue if this deck had full armor Photon Dragon in it, but then again, the extra deck is really tight because, again, you're playing Hieratics. You're playing a lot of extra cards that don't necessarily really matter. But so, I'm gonna send this, I'm going to send... this, and I'm going to send... don't really care other than a set, so it doesn't really matter. So he has the banish cards, so there's that. I can use this effect and attack 2 1s, 2 of them, but I could have cleared his entire board. And like he has a Gospel of Revival engraved too, so like the Alternative Dragon would have soaked up the Gospel of Revival, which would have been really key there. And then I could have upgraded into full armor Photon Dragon, and then I could have used full armor Photon Dragon to pop another card. Then I could have gone into Dark Matter, and then Dark Matter could have allowed me to attack 2 cards after killing one of them. I could have cleared his entire board, but those cards aren't accessible to me, and I fucked up with the Alternative Dragon. So, that is an issue. But yeah, he's playing a lot of the Felgrand cards. That is to be noted deeply. But as it stands, I can't kill anything with this, so I've got to leave it there. I've got the Galaxy Serpent engrave, so that can be brought back off of Azure Eyes next turn, potentially. There's no Trident Dragon in this extra deck either, even though it's actually possible to make it because of the Galaxy Serpent. In fact, I have no idea why that Galaxy Serpent is in here. If anything, you should probably just be playing another Zolkin, because like Zolkin summons all these cards anyway. Galaxy Serpent has no reason to be summoning these cards. You can just do it better with Zolkin. But anyway, before I start losing my train of thought 100%, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack this just because it's going to redirect into Hope Harbinger anyway. Like, it doesn't matter unless he just lets it. So, okay, he's just going to save it, potentially, or not. No, he's letting it die. Okay, I should have definitely just attacked Hope Harbinger first. Mistakes everywhere, right? So now this actually, if this survives, then he gets to kill this, which means he gets to bring back something and then do things there. Yeah, this is just terrible for me on multiple fronts, just because of the mistake that I've made, 1, and 2, the potential problems that this deck inherently faces. It's definitely a good deck. It's definitely nicely built. I just don't think, once we get Alternative Dragon, I just don't think Hieratics are the way to go with this. I feel like Hieratics were a cheap substitute for the power the deck was lacking before we had Alternative Dragon, and I definitely do not believe that it's the way for this deck to go, because it's really clunky. Like, it's just full of cards. Like, if you look at the Hieratic engine in this deck, there's like legit 15 cards in this deck that don't need to be there, And that's a lot of room that you can dedicate to a lot of other things, like a lot of other powerful things, like the Felgrand cards, Sage, like hand traps, stuff like that. Like you have, and then you have a solid. Let's see, you have in this deck specifically, there are 2 Atoms, there's 2 Gaia Dragons, and then there's the entire Ultimaya engine, which is another, like, we can consider literally 6 cards the Ultimaya engine, and like that is a lot of cards. That is so many cards. This is a Claw of Hermos. Okay, so he summoned Red Eye's Black Dragon Sword. And what? It gains 1,000 attack and 500 defense for each dragon type monster on the field and in the graveyards. Oh my god, it's at 12,600. I was like, why is it 26? Whoa! Yeah. Oh my god. Now that's another card that you can play when you're not playing all these hieratic cards. That's definitely something. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was literally looking at this. I was like, why is it only 2,600? Where'd the rest of the boost go? And then I hovered over it and it says 12,600. It's just being covered over by the Harbinger. But yeah, honestly, in my personal opinion, with all the testing I've done with this deck, I've definitely tested with this deck before in the past. I'm definitely not a stranger to it. And even with the regular TCG Blue Eyes support, the hieratic deck just seemed very underwhelming. The hieratic cards are just so bloodthirsty for combo pieces, and that's not what the Blue Eyes deck is really about. The Blue Eyes deck draws its main strengths from the fact that it does very, very simple and impactful plays with very minimal cards. It's very much like Necros of the past and Monarchs currently. They play with very few cards a turn, but all those cards are really powerful and really impactful, and the plays you're making with them are really good. So I honestly don't think Hieratics is the way forward with this deck, because like I've already said, Red Med is really cool. The fact you can get it out of your deck off a Tum is really nice, really sweet, but it's at 0/0. There's almost no way to recycle it when it dies, and then on top of that, Ultimaya is typically a better play at that point, and the rest of your deck has those support cards to reborn cards continuously built into them in the form of a better card that's just Azure Eyes, because Azure Eyes offers protection for itself, and it does a bunch of different things, and you just have room for a lot of different stuff if you just cut all the hieratic cards out. Literally looking at the deck list, like I've said, there's literally about 15 cards in the main deck that you can cut out of the deck if you cut the hieratic engine. And then out of the extra deck, you literally get 10 spaces. You literally have 5 to 6 cards in this extra deck that are actually here because they deserve to be here. And the rest of the cards are all just in here because the hieratic cards allow you to make them. And it just opens up a lot of free space for you. And I feel like the card quality of the other deck, the Felgrand variant, or just the pure Blue Eyes variant, is just overall better. While the hieratic build does have a lot more aggression potentially, that aggression isn't really anything better than what the Blue Eyes deck's already offering, because instead of investing your resources into rank 8s and stuff like that, you're actually focusing on a completely different engine that involves around multiple combo pieces and stuff like that in general. But anyway, /end rant, I guess. That's I guess where I'm going to cut this video. I'm recording for 20 minutes, so holy shit, this is going to be a long one, but hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. Other than that, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description of my Facebook links. If you want to check those out, definitely go for it. If you want to send a deck for me to possibly play, preferably TCG legal, or at least close to TCG legal like this one was, send it in, and if it catches my interest, I'll definitely be willing to play it. I'm going to be doing a lot more playing these than I have been doing in the past, because I definitely need to start actually making good on the things that I say. So, other than that, if you want to support me, clicking ads on my videos and clicking, ads and disabling ad block when you view my videos is the greatest way to support me, the best way to support me. It helps me out a lot, and I'd be greatly appreciative of you if that's something you can take time out of your day to do. If you have an ad block enabled, if you can take a few seconds out of your day, disable your ad block, refresh the video, click an eye or two, and then put it back on when you're done. It takes seconds out of your day, takes no money out of your pocket, and helps me out so very much, and I cannot express how much of my eternal gratitude you would have if you could take the few seconds out of your day to do that for me. It'd be really cool of you, and it helps me out a ton. But other than that, enough rambling. This video's over. As always, guys, take care.